everybody, and welcome again to Table Takes. This is the last week of February, and I hope you guys are starting to see, at least in Seattle, I see sun. There's
Ooh.
sun outside. It's nice. It's going to be springtime soon, and I can't wait to feel the warmth and to see all the grass actually grow, all that good stuff. But of course, look at all of these beautiful smiling faces. I feel like I'm not part of the party. I got a memo. Everybody freshly shaved their heads this week. It looks like it. I'm sorry, I didn't get prepared to do this, and now I feel out of the loop, I guess. So we'll go ahead and start with Noir. How have you been?
I have been vibing. Not too much this week. I actually took the day off of my job today, so I just been sleeping, hanging with my kitties. And now I've bought Helldiver because I'm going to do my part for Super Earth in bringing modified democracy to the universe.
I hope you have fun with that. You got trapped into it, and stuff. But it does, at least for me, the Helldiver looks like you're just fighting a lot of Terminators and a lot of chaos. So have fun with that.
Remember the
And
fallen at Malevolent Creek.
Malevolent. Okay.
okay. Well, Javion, how have you been?
I've been pretty good. I don't know if you noticed, I got a new haircut and it feels nice and fresh and clean. I don't know who didn't tell you the memo, Bonds. We're going shaved for the end of Black History Month. I guess you just don't care about Black
I
History.
mean, I opened the show by saying February's over good. I'm like, ooh. Let me stop messing with you.
Even Marcus shaved his head for this. I mean, anyway, I got a chance to play one of my favorite games the other day. I haven't played it in a while. It's called Circadian's First Light. It's a
Ooh.
fun game where it's got a lot of table presence. There's a lot of stuff all over the table. Basically, you roll your dice, you assign them to different places, and you get things done. Complete your contracts, trade with the local alien wildlife, and there's a lot of expansions that I have. So hopefully I get to play some of them in the next few weeks. But it's really fun. Definitely recommend it. It was a Kickstarter that I did a long time back. I practice what I preach. I always try my best if I can to tell you guys about Kickstarters that I would back myself. Which
Yes.
and today's no exception. I hope you're excited.
Ooh, very much excited. And I'm happy that you've got a successful Kickstarter. I know you were feeling the
Yeah,
Kickstarter blues earlier by getting kicked to the curb by not getting some fulfilled, but I'm glad you got some.
thanks.
Now, Peter, how have you been?
I've been great. I also just got my haircut too. I went with Javion and Noir. We all went down together and got it done.
Wow, I feel included.
Boys, they.
I have been I'm deep into planning for a bunch of stuff having to do with next weekend, next Saturday, a week from tomorrow. Javion and I are going to play Magic the Gathering to support a Gary Adkison Memorial Magic Tournament at Gary Con, the other Gary. Yeah, so that's going to be fun. And I can't wait to play, just hang out and play Magic all afternoon. It'll be fun.
Yay.
Yeah, morning and afternoon. Yeah. We got an early call time. That's okay. Also started planning in depth a bunch of events related to the 50th anniversary Dungeons and Dragons. So we're going to have a bunch of events on Gen Con TV, all the 6 Saturdays in a row, starting on November. That would be after Gen Con, May 11th. For 6 consecutive Saturdays, we're going to be streaming adventures of each edition of Dungeons and Dragons, that from original D&D all the way up to 5th edition, and that'll be in Cadia Studios, and then on site we're going to have panels for each edition of D&D as well. So I've been organizing these, and it's a lot of fun. How about you, Bonsai? What have you been up to?
Oh, me, I've been, of course, chasing after the little one that I've been taking care of, and also been getting into actually getting back into doing some illustrations for various different RPGs that my partner is making. And I'm going to be doing the artwork for it. And hopefully I can start posting those soon on Instagram. I'll also like researching and doing a lot of stuff about like how alternate, like basically how different points in history can inspire you in world building. So it's been very fun journey about that. But yeah, no, I'm excited just to get back into the creative circle and designing some artwork for some future RPGs or zines. Yeah.
Yay.
You know what I am also? I think we need to go ahead and trumpet right into these articles. It says coming to Gen Con. You know what? Do you need a hotel? Well, guess what? The housing portal opens this Sunday, February 25th at noon Eastern. So if you guys don't know, Gen Con might be really, really popular every year that we break websites, you know, getting hotels. So to kind of ease the flow, we're going to be doing a lottery. So you got to go ahead, sign up to participate in the housing lottery. You need to purchase your badge before midnight, 11:59 p.m. Eastern tonight. So you can join the lottery on Sunday. So today's Friday. In 2 more days, Sunday, we're going to do the lottery. And everyone who has a badge purchased before tonight, today, February 23rd, will be able to participate in February 25th. The hotel portal slots receive a slot in the portal opening on Sunday. For those time slots will be emailed to you. A few things to remember: only people who purchase the badge will get an email to the lottery. And check back constantly if you don't get the hotel if you're looking for. People kind of go grab, and they go, all right, maybe not that one, maybe not that one. So you can still kind of get it if you just go that refresh things. So for more information, visit housing and travel section on gencon.com. So good races. Javion, do you have any exciting news for us as well?
Yeah, it looks like our very own Peter Atkinson was interviewed by another Gen Con TV TableTakes alumnus, Jeffrey Dome Sanchez of ICV2. If you want to see that interview, definitely check it out. I read through it a little bit. I learned a whole lot about how Peter really has a lot to say about Magic the Gathering and D&D from back in the day. And if you want to learn, just check out the article there.
Thank you very much. But yes, no, I recommend looking at the main picture on that. I think it is very, very, very Western, I would say.
We were there. We were there
We're
for
there.
that picture. I remember Peter taking that photo.
You know, look, it does. Peter in that photo looks quite like a rascal. What do you think, Noir? Do you think he looks like a very much rascal in that?
Oh yeah, oh absolutely. You know what? There's nothing more awesome than Rascals, and we've got a new one on the TTRPG scene these days. Introducing the newest tabletop role-playing game outlet from the three writers who don't know how to do anything else. Rascal is helmed by 3 disaffected Bard Punk journals, Linda Codego, Rowan Zioli, and Chase Carter. If you're here because you love tabletop role-playing games, actual plays, and labor rights, you might have read our work before. The three of them have been covering tabletop games for years across sites like IO9, Polygon, and Dicebreakers, and they love doing it, which is why they're here to stay and will be covering TTRPG news under their own banner, Rascal. I, for one, am so terribly excited for this. We've reported on a number of stories from each one of these writers. So the fact that they've banded together to tell stories or to report on stories on their own is nothing but awesome. I am truly excited to see what news they break. I mean, if it's anything on the level of the OGL fiasco that Linda was Lynn was able to uncover. It'll be very interesting. Also, I do appreciate the spotlight that they intend to put on community, in particular, actual plays and things of that nature, indie development. I think the actual plays are starting to become something very interesting,
Mm.
and having a news outlet to report on that stuff will be pretty awesome. And it gives us more of a reason to report on it as well. So nothing but good things. I see nothing but good things coming from Rascal in the future. But that's just my thoughts. What about the rest of you? What do you think about this new Rascal on the scene?
I, for one, recognize these. If we've used these our names in so many articles here on Gen Con TV, so yeah, we're like, yeah, these people, they're legit. I trust their word and how they're gonna do it. And yeah, no, I'm just excited, and I feel like this is gonna be a really good start for them. And also that name choice, 1010, I like
Mm.
it, Rascals.
I think it's pretty cool that there is that much to say about TTRPGs that like there's going to be a whole like section of journalism happening from these folks about it. That's really cool. I'm happy to see that things like are still growing as rapidly as they are.
Yeah. No, yeah, awesome things. And we're looking forward to seeing what articles they have, especially because like it seems like they're pretty much they're breaking news as soon as this happened, and we gotta go see how it goes. But yeah, good luck to you, Rascals. We hope to see more for you in the future. You know who else we want to see more things? I feel like there's some new found backers we can go ahead and start going to. What do you think? You gonna kicking a little intro right there, Peter?
Yeah, I think there's some newfound on GameFound for sure, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Well, this news is brought to us by Chase Carter at Dicebreaker, which I guess will soon be Chase Carter at Rascal. We'll see. I didn't, yeah. Well, okay, Simon. Let's get to the feature. Simon, the board game studio best known for handling the expansive Zombicide series, has announced that its future crowdfunding projects will be hosted exclusively on GameFound, breaking a long and successful tenure on Kickstarter. The Singapore-based studio released a statement on February 16th in coordination with Polish company GameFound, Kickstarter's biggest rival in the crowdfunding ecosystem. Simon is currently running its second GameFound campaign for a skirmish-sized version of A Song of Ice and Fire Tactics, but already feels confident enough to ink an exclusive partnership for an untold number of future tabletop titles, plus the recently announced God of War board game adaptation. Quote, I'm extremely happy to bring Simon campaigns to GameFound. They were not only pioneers of board game funding and the biggest crowdfunding creator of all time, but most importantly, are creating and delivering amazing games to customers all over the world, said GameFound CEO Marcin Swierkat. GameFound's features and continued growth over the past 2 years make this partnership a natural fit and will help both of our companies reach new audiences, ensuring great games make their way to great people. End quote. It's hard to understate the sheer amount of money Simon has amassed through Kickstarter. Zombicide made waves a mere 3 years ago into the platform's lifespan when it raised over $780,000 for the launch of what would become Simon's bread and butter. Future seasons raked in ever-growing mountains of dollars over the next decade. $2.5 million for season 2, nearly $2.9 million for season 3, $4 million for Black Plague, $5 million for Zombicide Green Horde, and peaking with an eye-watering $9 million for Marvel Zombies in February 2022. This all goes without mentioning the cavalcade of 60-plus projects that have filled out Simon's release calendar over the years, including big titles in their own right, such as Cthulhu, Death May Die, the Bloodborne board game, and Ankh Gods of Egypt. They're leaving Kickstarter for greener pastures won't kill everyone's favorite platform, but it certainly isn't great news during a period of relative financial contraction for all crowdfunding platforms that publicly report their revenue.
Okay. Well, I mean, It'd be interesting. It is a big move, and it does put GameFound more on the map, which I'm always, at least for me as a point of like as a consumer, I like that there is going to be multiple areas, so it's not just Kickstarter that has it. Now we have GameFound and BackerKit. I'm just thinking in terms as a consumer, I like when I have options, and I'm sure as a content creator or as a somebody who produces games, that people like the options, especially in rates in terms of how they promote their thing. So yeah, I'm just excited to see this change. Anybody else have any comments about this?
Well, I agree
Uh,
with you. I mean, as a capitalist, it's good to have competition in the market. That's what makes the capitalist system work. So yes, it's good. It has kind of seemed that there was like Kickstarter way up here, and a bunch of other companies that were way down here. It seems like now we have perhaps a clear number two crowdfunding platform emergence, and one that is primarily focused on games as
Right.
opposed to games being an afterthought or a sideline like a Kickstarter.
Yeah,
mm.
I'm really hoping this pushes the other crowdfunding sites to innovate and to capitulate to what people need in order to, keep this on the level for the people who are using these sites. Like,
Yeah.
being more thorough with scams or being more protective of the people that invest. I think that these are the things that ultimately whoever becomes the leader of this crowdfunding race is going to have to accomplish. So I'm with you, Peter. I'm very excited about the competition.
The only thing I'll say is they don't have the Zine Zone or the Zine Quest on GameFound yet. I think there are some slight differences between them, right? GameFound and Kickstarter. I see Kickstarter as a lot more friendly to the independent developer, independent creator who doesn't have a lot of art to showcase of their game just yet and are trying to get up off the ground. Whereas whenever I go into GameFound, I know I'm going to find stuff that is already really popular. They're going to feature very heavily the things that are already really popular and push them to the front so I know what to get excited about because other people are excited about it. Versus in Kickstarter, I kind of feel like I'm digging through, I'm combing through a lot of treasure and just trying to find something that speaks to me from more indie developers. So I don't think this is by any means like bad or for anybody really. I just think it's really cool that we're having Simon show support for something that people clearly really want.
Oh yeah, no. So yeah, we'll just have to see what Simon has store and if this is going to shake up the market even more. You know what? I like the idea of things just kind of putting it in there for the customers so people can pre-order what they want. What do you think about that, Javion?
I love that idea. Speaking of pre-orders, this next headline comes to us from Jeffrey Dome Sanchez of ICV2, and it's all about pre-orders for the new 5e adventure, Vecna, Eve of Ruin. So in this pre-order, we are going to get a full adventure for levels 10 to 20 centered around Vecna. Maybe you haven't heard of Vecna before, or maybe you've only heard echoes of his name, but perhaps you watched Stranger Things and had no idea where this character was coming from when it comes to D&D or Critical Role even. Vecna's been around for a really long time. Back in 1976, actually, it started out as just a couple of artifacts, these magical artifacts with some lore behind them, and then got fully put into the lexicon for D&D more permanently as a lich, a full lich, who turned into a demigod and then became a greater deity, and then got turned back into a lich. Um, there is pretty infamously a lot of rumors around Vecna's origins. Some say that the gods were so angry at him and his quest for immortality that he just was forced to be immortal and live with like this decayed skin and body like eroding away to just the bone underneath. But suffice to say, he's very, very powerful, like the uber lich of all liches, and has spawned lots and lots of mysteries and adventures just around his name alone. Well, now we're getting this full adventure where you all get to play as heroes. Get this, in the multiverse, in fact, of the Forgotten Realms. So you'll be visiting Spelljammer out in Wild Space. You'll be going to Ravenloft, Planescape, Dragonlance, and even more. It's pretty wild. I'm not sure how huge this book is going to be. It's going to retail at $69.95 with an alt cover, meaning it's going to have a lot of content. It's going to be a really, really big adventure, on par with probably like Curse of Strahd or something along those lines of like this really big adventure. You're tasked with trying to find the Rod of Seven Parts, which is a thing I didn't even realize existed, but it's basically just the Dragon Balls, if you ask me. There's these 7 parts of a giant lawful rod that have lots of healing powers or, evil good riddance powers, and they all got sort of spread across the multiverse. So you got to go find them. So you're on a big fetch quest, basically. And then you get to fight Vecna at the very end at level 20. That sounds incredible. I can't wait to see more about this adventure. I know, Peter, you were telling me earlier that you were talking about the Rod of Seven Parts, and I'm curious to know your thoughts on it.
Yeah, okay. Well, this is kind of embarrassing. This was not my DMing at my best. I did this campaign where the players were all looking for the Rod of Seven Parts. You find one and it points you to the next one. You go to the next, then points you to the next one, and over several months of play, they eventually got 6 of the 7 parts of the Rod of Seven Parts. And then the rod wouldn't point them to the 7th part.
Wow.
They're like, what? And they did some research, some communes with the gods and all stuff like that, and they found out, oh no, the 7th part was destroyed in some sort of war. It's not available.
Wow, what a bummer.
Whoa, that's great. I love it.
That was an old school dick move right there.
Yeah.
That's petty as hell.
Dang.
Oh, but I love it. I love it. Well, at least, I will say, at least the Vecna it doesn't cost an arm and a leg. It just costs a hand and an eye. So it's a little bit cheaper, instead of an arm and a leg. Get it? Ha! I'm sorry. I had to do it. But
Well,
no.
look forward to this book coming out in May 21st this year, and you can pre-order it now if you visit the Wizard of the Coast. The pre-order is scheduled for May 21st. There you go.
All right. Oh wait, hold on. I think we have to pause really quick because I have just breaking news right now. I think it may be somebody's birthday that's happening today, and we need to embarrass them right now. So let's all, on the count of 3, sing happy birthday. 1,
Wait,
2.
who is it for? I needed to say happy birthday who?
Oh, J Brews in chat.
Okay.
Yeah. So ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear J Bruce. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, round of applause.
And many more.
And more.
Noir, you're so lucky. You're muted that whole time.
Was I?
Yes.
Oh.
I should have thought of that. I should have done that. Dang it.
I see. You guys are trying
No,
to
that just
out.
means I did all these vocals for no reason. I was hitting high notes like you wouldn't believe. I did this. I did an Ariana Grande whistle note.
Oh wow! There you go.
Happy birthday, Josh.
Yeah, but yes. Let's go ahead and from that happy news, let's go ahead and with some semi. Yeah, you gotta shake your head and said that's the thing that happened news. So this is gonna be something that is local to us here in Seattle that happens, but I bring it back because I think this is like strike number 2 on gamers who have opportunities of stealing magic cards and then making really, really smart decisions with how they're gonna deal with their loot. A lot of people are like, oh, gamers will definitely know how to get in and do crimes, but apparently that is not the case. So if you guys want to know, this is thank you from King 5 News and SPD Blotter for the Seattle police one. So SPD announced, Seattle Police Department announced on Tuesday that they had arrested a former temp employee of Mox Boarding House. If you guys don't know, Mox Boarding House is a really cool gaming store that you can eat at. You can go ahead and reserve a room at and stuff, and it's just a really cool area to hang out. But basically, they who attempted and actually did steal $40,000 in magic cards. Apparently, the temp was hired to help move product and took the opportunity to steal cards. This is like when they were transferring goods to one area to another. The manager notices missing cards in the inventory, and they soon discover them on sale online with the person who tempted using their real name and address, leading them to get arrested. Fortunately, most of the stolen cards were recovered. But yeah, not all of them because, they sell fast. I feel like, I don't know. What's your opinion, folks? We've seen, like, this is the second time we've seen people steal multiple grands worth of magic cards and then immediately just go, look at this. Fumble, 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 fumble.
Bonsai, it flies in the face of my fantasy. I mean, my fantasy is that gamers would be like the greatest criminals of all time because we're just so smart, At least
I don't have an opinion to add as much as I just have a warning to give. Hey, nerds, Magic is having a convention in Chicago. Don't try that here. Listen, I'm telling you, don't. CPD, do not play like that. I am being so for real with y'all right now. The cops here have death touch. All right.
Oh,
All right. I'm just letting y'all know. All right. That's it.
nice.
I used to work at Mox, and the Mox that you're talking about, the one where cards were stolen.
The very one.
Yeah, I've heard of them. I've heard of cards being stolen out of people's cars or off tables, but never from the warehouse. So this is surprising for me to hear. I know you guys remember that they've like unionized, and there's a lot of really good stuff happening there. It's really sad to see that, something like this was able to happen because unfortunately sometimes they got to call in temps, they got to get people who may be a little bit less trustworthy because they need more hands temporarily. They can't just hire these people on full time. You got to get people from all walks of life to do some of the opening packs over and over and over again, or just moving product. In this case, it didn't go so well. Stealing's bad. Don't steal. But snitches get stitches, so
yeah.
Keep that in mind.
Oh, real names, like just
it's just I just kind of want to put that in the I don't know. Is there going to be like what's the magical number of people blundering while spilling multiple grand of magic cards? I just don't know.
Are y'all out of y'all mind? Me and Bonsai don't even use our real names for this show. You do it to sell stolen cards.
Real name. Using your real name. So
Are you serious? My super name is totally Bonsai. No, I'm just joking.
That's temp energy. That's real temp energy.
It's real temp energy right there. So other than that, but yeah, at least if anything, they do specify like, yeah, please just buy from your actual friendly local gaming stores, and maybe not all kind of like freelance sellers are legit, so just keep that in mind as buyers and such. But you know what, I think we need to just really jam out of this discussion and think about how we could
I got you, Bonsai.
Yeah.
We're going from people who got themselves into a jam to people bringing jams to the table. All right, so here we go. Jam out with Pathfinder RPG official adventure soundtracks. Pathfinder RPG partners with Fantasy Music Studio to publish official Adventure Path soundtracks. I'm going to read this line, but I don't agree with it. Nothing but respect to you, by the way, Chase Carter of Dicebreaker. One of the biggest RPG alternatives to D&D. Pathfinder is more than that. It's is upping its Sonic game with official musical soundtracks. Pathfinder studio Paizo recently announced that it had partnered with Michael Gelfi Studios to produce music for two upcoming Adventure Path releases, two Adventure Path releases, plus more in the future. To that end, the Washington-based company will work with Michael Gelfi Studios on full-list soundtracks for two of its upcoming Adventure Path releases, which are a series of interconnected quests and encounters that form a cohesive story over monthly installments. Both Seven Dunes for Sandpoint and Wardens of Wildwood will launch with musical accompaniment that players can download alongside their respective first values. Players will be able to find the soundtracks on Paizo's website or alternatively stream them from the composers associated YouTube, Spotify, and Bandcamp pages alongside other online musical platforms. Paizo is currently working to list the music in popular virtual tabletop programs such as Foundry VTT. For those players who take their RPGs online, Paizo was hesitant to detail their future plans regarding official music, but did say that it would not stop at two albums. Now, this is very exciting. I'm sure we all have our favorite movies or video game soundtracks playing in the background when we're running our games. It's nice to have one specifically for the adventures that you're running here, but I do have a few questions on how this is going to be done and utilized. For example, are these going to be licenses that people can use on Twitch, for example? Like if I run a Pathfinder adventure that has an album accompaniment, will I be able to have that music play on Twitch without getting a violation strike? Or the same thing with YouTube. So I'm very excited about this, very curious about the details, but that's just my opinion. What about the rest of y'all? What do you think?
I wonder if they could get with the people who also make the candles for the scenes. So you got your candles and your music, and then you get the ones who make the food, and so it's a whole party. Just
Mhm.
just a whole thematic party, which more immersive I like.
I'd come to that party. I think it's cool. I think it's a next step in innovation when it comes to trying to make digital tater pigs a little bit more tolerable. Peter, I wasn't always right there with you when it came to playing tater pigs over the internet. I've been radicalized against them after the last few times sitting through awkward silences with people just not saying anything over the digital tabletop sphere. But I think having a soundtrack has been a pretty big game changer as far as like using them in Roll20, and having something official is even better. That ambiance can sort of, fill in some of those spaces that might be a little bit silent.
Mm-hmm. No, it definitely is. And I hope they have like also like not just soundtracks for music wise, but like ambient noises too. Because you don't always have to be like percussions. Sometimes you just want to be like, I got like strumming and people in the background kind of thing. So we'll all have to see how it turns out. You know what? Also, I would like to know like alternate history, Javion. Do you have any like alternate history, like, buffs that you want to think about? Like, what if computers came earlier?
That's a good question, Bonsai.
Hmm.
It's a great segue into our next headline, in fact. This article comes to us from Matt Jarvis of Dicebreaker, and it's all about a new alternate history board game called Ada's Dream. In this game, you play as interns or assistants to Ada Lovelace, who some people may not know this, actually was on the verge of breaking new ground and creating the first computer, the analytical engine, but unfortunately died back in 1852 due to cancer. This game is set back in Victorian England in an alternate version of history where Ada Lovelace goes on to create the analytical engine alongside lots of great thinkers and movers and shakers back in Victorian England. So this game is rumored to be, or is explained as an advanced Euro game. It's going to play in about 2 hours for up to 4 players. And it's actually produced by Alley Cat Games, who made a couple of other games you might have heard of, like Dice Hospital and Cat Cafe, but more recently Arborea, which has a sort of similar style to it, apparently. You'll be drafting dice on a rotating rondel, where you're trying to grab the dice that you need in order to go to the lectures at different universities, recruit different partners for Ada, and complete her assignments by going and fetching things that she needs, or creating these blueprints that are going to earn you victory points. Unfortunately, there aren't a lot of pictures yet, but there are some pictures of the cards, and I gotta say, I was not excited. I'm never excited when people talk history. I start to snore. My eyes start to feel heavy, and I want to go
Oh,
to sleep. But then I see art like this, and I link back to some of the other games like Her Story that I played recently that are historical in nature and actually are really fun if you have the right mechanics to them. And I like Alley Cat games. I like Dice Hospital. I like some of the ideas that they've come up with. So I'm really excited about it. Not to mention they have a consultant on the field creating this board game with them, a historian named Beverly Adams, who is helping to make sure that everything was historically accurate. So we're looking forward to seeing this Kickstarter in the second quarter of this year, somewhere in April, maybe later, where we can see not only this game, but also a trilogy of board games inspired by great thinkers that is going to be released in succession by Alley Cat Games. So look, if you're really excited about the historical accuracy of a board game, maybe wanted to play in that area, maybe an alternate, sort of fictional version of history, what could have happened if Ada Lovelace was the first person to make a computer, this game might be for you.
Ooh, very cool. I do hope that like the age demographic is like a good range because I would love these kind of games, especially for a younger audience as well, because we all like learning from history. But you want to know what? I especially think let's talk about feats, baby. Let's talk about mid-maxing. Peter.
yeah. This is big news. Katie Wickens of Dicebreaker has dared to put her name on a list of the best feats in Dungeons and Dragons 5e, the 10 best feats. So I'm just going to kind of go through those and critique her analysis a little bit. Yeah, and it may be that she left a couple off that one of my co-hosts here might want to add in here, but okay, on her list, there is Lucky. Okay, I think we just gotta all admit that Lucky is good.
Lucky
Maybe
is,
too
yes.
good. You get to roll.
Lucky is broken, is what it is.
Lucky's broken, re-roll, 3 times a day, get a re-roll an attack or saving throw.
Don't you get to make your enemies re-roll too?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. It's like, okay, I think that the next group of orcs I have them fight is from the Luck clan. The clan ability everyone gets. In fact, I think there's a lot of monsters in my campaign that are part of the Luck clan. Let's see. There's Warcaster, which gives you advantage on con saves. For concentration, if you're concentrating on a spell and you take damage, you have to make a con save to keep your concentration. It gives you advantage on that. Okay, that's okay. Or if a hostile creature's movement provokes an oppie, you can use a reaction spell instead of an attack on that oppie. No, I think that could be okay. I mean, it's all going to come down to does your DM use miniatures or not, right? I mean, if you have a heavy miniatures oriented campaign with lots of using the grid and lots of that sort of tactile combat, this could be good. If not, on a typical streaming campaign, I don't think this would be very good. Magic Initiate. What Bonsai? You got an opinion on this one?
I do. I just have an opinion. This is a lot of I get it. I like Luck is the only one that I agree, honestly, that should be on this list. This is just my opinion. But I feel like there's a big glaring thing, especially if you play 5th edition, that they don't specify here, which is Polar Master, which is if you're a fighter class, because you already know, I know there's a lot of magic things, but like fighters need love too, and this is the one feat that we get that kind of puts us at an even level, which allows you to make a second attack with your polar arm with like a D4 damage, so you can actually do double attacks, and there's like extra modifiers for fire, flaming, but like it's effectively just an extra attack. We need extra attack if you really want to make fighters better. Just like make us be able to like, can we get a future feat that makes you like be able to like dodge spells like that, like
Well,
magic missile?
Yeah, Bonsai, when you brought up pole arms, you're speaking my love language. I love pole arms. I think they're the most underrated weapons class in all fantasy. Give me a spear. Give me a bec de corbine. Give me a halberd.
I mean, like I hate to jump in on this, but like there is my favorite feat is not on here, which is Shield Master, which is kind of what you're asking for. Like Shield Master would be great if two words we changed. With Shield Master, when you take an attack, you get to, as a bonus action, knock somebody back with your shield, which is dope. You get to add your shield bonus to your dexterity saves, which is awesome. And then if it's a save for half kind of deal, if you have your shield, you can use reaction to just not take half. So it's kind of like dodging the spells like you were asking for, Bonsai, but you need a free hand to do that because shields. This would be great if you could get that shield attack as a free action and it didn't cost you a reaction to save for nothing instead of half. But that's just me griping.
Okay. So Bonds, I think you're being a little critical that you don't like any of these on here. I gotta say, if I'm playing a highly tactical game, I love Sentinel. I think Sentinel's a great feat. I mean, just to like somebody, that little pesky halfling rogue goes trying to zip by you, hit him with an oppie, and they're stopped, and then they're right there, right where you can really take care of them. Yeah.
All right. I will give Sharpshooter a good one. They did list Sharpshooter on here, so I do appreciate the like it for like just basically plus 10 to greater weapon damage and stuff like that. I think the real thing, if you're going for somebody with a shooty character, is the crossbow expert, because they have a broken mechanic that if you have a hand, like a little hand, what is crossbow? It doesn't, the crossbow experts make it so you don't have to reload. So if you get two hand crossbows, you don't have to reload, and it's just pa pa both times. It doesn't make sense realistically, but I like that I get to just shoot people with the cross hand.
Oh, you're making me miss my Ewok with ambidexterity and two blasters.
Awesome.
All right. Well, I don't think we probably want to go through all of these. I just want to add one more comment. Magic Initiate. Okay, this is like I almost said we needed to have a Grognar moment here, but I'll just make it brief. This lets you pick any spellcasting class and get 2 cantrips from it, as if we didn't already have like too many characters using magic. Like almost every character class now can cast spells in 5e. And like, and if you're like one of the only 2 classes or whatever that can't, just take this feat. Now you can too.
Yeah, less magic. Yeah, boo magic.
Boo hiss. Okay, pull me out of this, Bonsai. I'm done. I'm done.
All right, it's all right. Take a break, folks, because you want to know what it is. It's Bundle Boss time with Noir Bundle Boss. Got the Bundle Boss going now.
I want to see if I can make the song go longer if I didn't say anything. So hello everybody. Boy, do I have a bundle for you. It's our bundle of holding, of course. From June 2020, 5th edition tabletop role-playing supplements from Legendary Games is available. So like the Legendary Ultimate 5e bundle, Ultimate Rulership, Battle, Strongholds, and much more. For only $10, you can get the Legendary Kingdoms, Ultimate Rulership, Ultimate Commander, and Ultimate Strongholds, which let me get into it with you here. So I've got thoughts.
Lay down the volley there. Give us hit us.
with this bundle, you will be able to essentially turn your 5e game into more of a politically intriguing war game, right? Which is fun. Who doesn't love war games? Who doesn't love political intrigue? Um, there are systems built around this. Like the Game of Thrones RPG fully does this inherent into the system. However, for only $10, okay, let's turn our 5e game into it. These 5e expansions lets your player characters leave the dungeon and found your own kingdom, tame the wilderness, and establish new cities and fill them with monuments to your realm's glory. Engage in diplomacy, trade, espionage, and everything a ruler must manage to keep a nation prosperous and happy. Construct towering fortresses, both magical and mundane. Navigate the hazards of sea battles and court intrigue. Build relationships that last a lifetime. Things that aren't inherent into the 5e system. You can do with these expansions. Again, only $10 and it's going towards a really amazing cause. And if you pay more than the threshold price of $20.60, you'll level up and also get the Revival's entire bonus collection with 5 more titles worth an additional $45, including Ultimate Battle, Warships, Factions, and Ultimate Relationships. So again, give this a look. But I also implore you that if you try this out and you like it, you might want to look into some other systems that do this inherently. But yes, this of course going towards a good cause as always with bundle of holding. So check it out. My categories.
Very, very cool. But you know what? I think we need an expert. Javion, can you lead us into the zone? What zone?
The ZINE Zone.
Welcome to Crowdfunder Court. Here come the judges. Prepare to be judged. All right, court is now in session.
What's up, Wastoids? It's time for another ZINE Zone. That's right, get ready to ride the radical wave. We've got totally tubular, twisted zines for you. And the first one is Dice Dragons. It's a solo TTRPG all about hoarding dice. You are a dragon. You use your hordes of dice to try to fight back all of the heroes and adventurers looking to steal them from you. It's a great experience for people like me who have like a ton of different kinds of dice that you've been collecting for a very long time, and you've only been keeping them in a briefcase that your friend gave you to display them because you're too afraid of damaging any of them and lowering their value, but also they're too shiny and too pretty and you don't want to see anything happen to them. Now here's a reason to crack them out. Super fun idea. I love it. I can't wait to actually see this come out. If you're not a dice hoarder and you still want to get in on all of the fun and the action, you can get the Dice Goblin variant, which allows people who maybe don't have a ton of dice to still have fun hoarding dice and having fun with the game. This actually comes to us from an independent creator who's actually a student of design, who's learning how to create games, has never really created anything before. And this is what I love about Kickstarter. I love seeing people who have an interesting perspective get a chance to have something unique and cool happen. Their goal was originally $757, but they're already up to $3,000. So thanks to your help, they're going to be able to commission art and get even more stretch goals happening with even more variants of the game. I'm very happy for them. I can't wait to see this come out. I am one of the backers, and I'm hoping that there is a physical book that you can get as well because of how many people are able to fund it. But for now, you can back at any of the levels to gain a PDF version of the game once they have created it. So if you're like me and you love dice and you want to play with them in a solo TTRPG, then definitely check out... Oh, sorry, hold on. This totally bodacious slime fest. All right, coming up next, we've got Bonsai. What do you got for us?
Hey, hi there, tubular, spectacular. And then I dropped the ball on that one. But yes, if you want to go ahead and check out Thrifty Trades of Fae. It's a system agnostic zine providing Fae Touch thrift items with 64 Fae Touch items that can't be bought in gold, but can be bargained for with tricky fairy deals. The zine has a pretty cool gimmick with random mechanics too, with a little like fortune origami. If you guys remember in like middle school, you used to like be like, how many babies will I have? And then you would flip it up and it'll be like an absurd number. But this is a way that you can randomize the items. Like, for example, I have some interesting items. Incalibur, which is the sword still in the stone. So it was a magical sword that was foretold by prophecy to be the actual king's sword, but nobody actually got it out of the stone, and they just kind of carved around the stone. So it's a bludgeoning weapon at the same time. If that sounds like something cool to you, definitely check this out. And remember, Fae deals, they're kind of tricky. And when they ask you, "Can I have your name?" Please don't give them your name. All right. That's all about the Fae. You got to be tricksy. So let me go ahead and ride it back to you, to Peter.
Oh, hi. Okay, so my zine quest is called Rumored Lands. They've raised $2,653 versus a goal of $1,000. And this zine involves risograph printing. So let me first, I think it's important to say, what is risograph printing? So this is printing technology that was developed in Japan just after World War II using soy-based ink. Because of the high cost of emulsion ink. And it is a printer that has a unique process where a paper stencil is wrapped around the ink drums, and the paper is fed through the drums, and each drum will have a different color. So usually the number of colors is very limited. Sometimes just the one color is all that printer can do. Maybe it's 2 or 3 drums for a couple more colors. Also, because of the very manual sort of process, there's variations on each print, and no 2 of them look alike. So this zine is a collection of maps using this art style. And so each zine portrays a unique area for you and your party to explore. You can venture into a not-so-dormant volcano or float along poisoned riverlands. Or in each, the zines feature a 2-color illustrated map, spot illustrations, and descriptions of 6 to 8 points of interest. There's a set of rumors for each point of interest, like what kind of fish swim in the murky waters, what's the secret meaning behind the hermit's decorative tapestries. These rumors are designed to provoke hooks and inspiration for building adventures. Pick and choose rumors that best suit your setting. Personally, I just want to say I love maps, so this really speaks to me. I think this is great. And what I love about maps is when you look at a map, is that it evokes something in me. Like when I look and say, oh, I'm really curious about that spot. Like what's here? I love just starting a campaign that way. And these risograph prints, because they're a little bit different of a print style, I find them very evocative. And so, and particularly for fantasy adventuring. So I would recommend you check it out.
Wow, that was Mondo to the max, Peter. Thanks. Hey, Noir, what's your sick zine?
My 6th zine is Hellsite. I'm sorry, I'm fighting a cat. And I'm losing. So, have you ever wanted to play a game without dice? Well, you might be like, well, how will we figure out what we're gonna do? Well, with Hellsite, you're going to use your timeline. That's right, you're gonna use your Twitter timeline. I refuse to call it X. In this world of in the world of Hellsite, reaching out to the other side, reaching out to demons and monsters and the like require attention and emotions. These were very difficult currencies to get back in the days of old, where it was hard to communicate with everyone all at once. But with the advent of the internet, we've made it easy. So now, as a summoner, you're going to use that very same internet that has made things so easy to draw forth beings from the other side, using your Twitter timeline to tell you the results of the different tasks that you'll accomplish in this zine. Very interesting concept. I'm very curious to see how they pull this off. They have a goal of $200. They're already at $796 with only 44 backers and 12 days to go. So if you want to use your timeline to tell a story, this is the one to pick up. But that's everything on this end. Back to you.
Wow, now that was bodacious.
Oh.
Tune in next week for some more choice zines on the Zine Zone. Okay, I'm done. Thank you.
And with that, thank you, Javion. Can we please give a round of applause for that? For
Yeah,
those
oh,
acting
God.
skills.
Okay.
Round of applause. Well,
Yeah,
you know
I
what?
feel like you were working some things out with that, and I appreciate that you were willing to do that with all. That
Thanks.
was
Well, that's it for the show, right?
Yeah, that is it for the show. Peter, as our rhinestone cowboy, can you please lead us off into the sunset?
Oh yes, I wish I could. Best I can do is sport my new tattoo. That's the best I can do in terms of the cowboy
Hey!
look. But hey, there we go. I can't even really see it very well. But this concludes though another stunning episode of Table Takes. But don't go far because in just a couple hours we have Sarah's Table at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Sarah lives out her young adult fiction dreams as she builds a scribe in the solo RPG The Covens of Midnight. On Monday, I will be playing Sid Meier's Civilization 6 on Peter vs. Machine at 9 a.m. Pacific, followed by Dress to Quest RPG and Cosplay at 6 p.m. Pacific. On Tuesday, the Coterie needs to clean up evidence of their attempt to remove Mr. Underwood from the chessboard on Indie by Night at 7 p.m. Pacific. With Jay Bruce, yes, running this game. Wednesdays, we have miniature painting with Path of the Brush at 4 p.m. Pacific. Also on Wednesdays, we have Actor Roki. Next week will be with Mike Boozer at 6 p.m. Pacific. On Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific, we have Blood on the Clock Tower. And then join us again at 5 p.m. for some Shadowrun fun with Roll with Rem Alternus. Then Friday, back here, 2 p.m. Pacific for Table Takes. Thank you to the Gen Con TV crew, Marcus Mays, Steve Connor, Sarah Moore, and Tanel Lovett. Thanks to my delightful co-hosts, Javion, Bonsai Baby, the Noir Enigma. But thanks most of all to you for stopping in, watching, checking us out, hanging out with us in chat. And remember, follow Gen Con TV for more of the best 4 days in gaming all year long. And by follow, I mean click the follow button, please. All right, that's it. Ta-ta for now.
Bye.